A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secret Reveal Distance Gauge. And so, let's get on going with something that's probably a bit more significant the way that I see it. Yet another big example of the Modulus series, and I tell ya, Modulus is just a great franchise for how long it's already run, but also with what we could possibly expect to see in the future, especially with the brand new blaster that we're going to be getting soon, officially titled the Recon Mark III, but of course I've come up with a new name for it, the Insurgent. I will go pick it up soon, but until then, let's go ahead and take on another big time case. In the year 2018, they basically recolored the Demolisher 2-in-1 and had it released as a Modulus blaster, specifically for an Ultimate Customizer pack, which cost quite a lot of money. But thankfully I was able to buy a blaster itself on discount along with a few missiles and a banana clip akin to that of the original Demolisher itself. This I simply refer to as the Pulverizer 2-in-1. Not just on the basis that it's recolored, but also for the fact it's in a new line, and it also at the time included a bunch of new accessories, which of course were exclusive only to this blaster entirely. Now the Pulverizer 2-in-1 is certainly the same exact thing as the Demolisher, but yet I do see a few other improvements. It still does include a couple of tactical rails, one on top, one on the side here. It includes its own missile launcher, which we're also going to be using here in this test after we're done with the darts here in this banana clip that we have here, and not to mention a barrel adapter and a stock adapter, which, speaking of which, I got myself the Ghoul Grinders stock to use here in order to keep ourselves a good stable position while firing this thing out into the distance. So let's get the downrange in view on the camera, and let's go ahead and get ourselves settled because the blaster itself is about to be firing off into the distance. Alrighty then, that's the entire banana clip pretty much fired off. And I'm expecting some pretty amazing ranges here. So we're starting off at 0, working our way up to the lowest point in this test, which appears to be right around here. So, lowest shot fired seems to sit right smack dab at 48 feet, which seems pretty good enough, but going further we could see many of these shots went even farther than we typically would have anticipated. And it does look like that, well, the majority of the darts are sitting right here. And as a result, I'm going to have to go ahead and call it that the middle mark is all the way up here at 75 feet, which is outstanding. But, of course, that is not even close to where here's the top dart. And, well, looks like 91 feet. So, 91 feet seems to be the furthest that we can get out of the Pulverizer 2-in-1 based on the original usage of Elite darts as a whole. That is very close to the very end of this whole entire thing. And believe it or not, a few tests have gone beyond the 100-foot mark, which is also pretty amazing, but yet 91 feet from an Elite blaster, well, so to speak, it's specifically a Modulus blaster, but it did fire Elite darts this time around. So you know what? 91 feet is still unbelievable by any means. From a blaster like that, who would have thought that that could ever be obtained? But let's go on ahead and get ourselves reset because we still have the missile launcher to use for this test. Alright, now we got ourselves fully reset. After I cleaned up all the mess that happened all the way out there, we're going to go ahead and use the missile launcher. But since it only holds one missile at a time, I'm just simply going to do it like this. We're going to fire one straight, like usual, and then we're going to fire one at an angle, pretty much. So first, let's go ahead and fire it straight, and, well, wow. That alone seems to be a pretty good result. For a straight shot of the Pulverizer's missile launcher, it doesn't really seem like we could probably get a whole lot better. From an angle though, maybe we will. have an even higher score than usual. But yet, let's just focus on the task at hand and simply get ourselves the missile itself. So, sitting on the ground here, if I back up real carefully, then we could probably see what kind of mark we got out of this whole entire thing. Sitting way over there, and well, sits between 47 and 48 feet pretty much. So it seems that 48 feet seems to be the best we could probably get out of a straight shot for today's test. Maybe we could get more if we built up more air pressure into it, or maybe something else entirely might happen, including wind patterns. But a lot of these complications are probably not going to be solved just by simply trying to do it all over again at once. So let's just take this missile back and get it reset, so this way we can try an angled shot to see how much farther it could get than usual. And so let's go ahead and reload this missile port here. And well, we're gonna go ahead and tilt the camera up a little higher, because now we're gonna be trying our hands at an angled shot here. Get it at around maybe 45, 50 degrees, and let's get it going. Oh wow, that was pretty amazing, the way that it was able to glide for a little bit. Just sounds like it might be a pretty darn good result, and it does look like it actually sits very close to the very end of the whole entire length of the entire meter that we have here. This entire tape measure really does have quite a lot of room here to utilize. But once again, the missile basically hooked off to the left. So I'm gonna back up slowly and carefully to get ourselves an accurate readout based on what kind of range we were able to get out of this. So, well, it looks like between 85 and 86 feet. So 85 to 86 feet for a pulverizer missile launcher to fire when held at an angle. So you know what? I'm really gonna have to call it here. The pulverizer is just so dang good, yo. You have no idea. I tell you, the pulverizer might just be the best that we've seen out of the Modulus lineup so far. And as a result, I'm probably willing to say that it could just be another one of the best Nerf blasters that I currently own, but yet we pretty much already had that whole thing settled. So what we're gonna do here is instead just let it be, pretty much. Basically 91 feet from a pulverizer's elite dart power, and then the power from the missile launcher gave us around 86 feet. So let's go ahead and get this set up. And well, there you pretty much have it, folks. So to summarize, the Pulverizer 2-in-1 blaster, one of the latest that we've gotten from the Modulus series, but not being too late, as the Insurgent still has yet to be released in stores, and maybe I will go ahead and pick it up at some point eventually. But until then, let's just say this one's probably the best that we've gotten from the Modulus series so far in terms of range. A 91-foot long shot that came out of an elite dart blaster, and then of course with a missile launcher blaster, we were able to get 86 feet. Those are some pretty outstanding results from a blaster like this. Yet I will have to say that overall, the blaster itself probably still does need some other tweaks in life before it can be optimal enough for me to call it one of the best blasters I got in my collection. But yet, it still is an amazing blaster with amazing range capabilities of all sorts. So that could be one of a few things that I might like about it the most, but otherwise, the majority of other blasters that I picked out based on the best blasters I currently have in my collection, they are pretty much what they are. If you've ever seen the top 15 best Nerf blasters I've ever owned countdown video, then well, that's pretty much just what that whole thing's gonna reflect on. This might not be one of them, but the Pulverizer could be at some point. Maybe I might make an updated version of this at some point, but until then, if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.